Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Hello and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas Football, our season premiere, the first show of the regular season. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, nothing but hard-hitting high school football highlights as we have just experienced the biggest week in Arkansas high school football history. This week, the Modern Woodmen of America, Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week featured 3 nights, 3 sites, doubleheaders each night, and we had 6 games decided by 8 points or less. Fantastic finishes in just about every game and big monster crowds at all 3 sites. War Memorial on Monday, Harding University on Tuesday, and then Thursday night at Arkansas Tech, and of course all the great games last night or Friday night across our state, and we have highlights of those coming up. But on Thursday night, Arkansas Tech was the site. Russellville Cyclones, Class 5A team, taking on their rival Marlton, and Arkansas Tech's Sports Information Director Larry Smith said it was the largest crowd in the 18 years he's worked at the school that he has seen at a football game at Tech. So we're going to begin with highlights of Russellville and Marlton. Our Class 5A highlights are brought to you by Big Red Fina. Close to 9,000 on hand at Arkansas Tech to see Russellville and Marlton. The Cyclones had invoked the 35-point mercy rule on rival Marlton the past 2 years, but Marlton on this night came to play too. Sophomore quarterback Kyle Russell gets hot, hits another sophomore, Josh Tresvant, for a 16-yard touchdown, and Marlton was up 7-6, but not for long. That's Russellville's Mr. Everything, Mackenzie Embry, taking the ensuing kickoff, turning on the Jets, 86 yards for the touchdown, and the Cyclones were back on top. Later in the second quarter, Russellville facing 3rd and 1, and Craner on a sneak shows his legs as he goes 35 yards straight up the gut for a touchdown. Russellville was up 20-7 at halftime, but Marlton was within 6, 27-21. The Devil Dogs drive in Russellville territory, but senior Jared Trammell at full speed snags an interception at the 23-yard line with just 33 seconds left. That kills Marlton's chances and gives the Cyclones a kickoff classic victory. Final score, Russellville 27, Marlton 21.
The Modern Woodman Classic was just great. I mean, we had so many supporters. Not only did we have our fans, but we had Hector and Dover's fans left over. And just the energy level was raised up 3 notches.
But, we had several sophomores out there, and I thought it was a great, might as well baptize them with fire. And, they stepped up and played a good ball game, but, they're going to get better. But it was a great honor for Marlton to be here tonight, and our community was excited, and they were here playing, and we just appreciate the opportunity to play in the Hooten's Classic.
North Little Rock had won just 2 games the past 2 seasons, but the Charging Wildcats entered 2004 ranked number 8 in the preseason by Hooten's, and here's why. That senior quarterback Josh Dixon using his legs for a touchdown, then Dixon again. This is his 3rd touchdown run of the night, and Dixon can also pass. Look at him going up top to Kevin Coleman for another score, and it's 28-0. North Little Rock up on Jacksonville. Jacksonville trying to avoid a blowout. Aaron Harper straight up the middle for a touchdown. That made it 28-8, but that was it for Jacksonville's offense. Final score, Charging Wildcats 34, Red Devils 8. And here's a look at Hooten's Arkansas Football Class 5A rankings. Little Rock Central beat West Memphis 38-0 last night, holds on to the top spot. Springdale played well on Saturday afternoon against Shreveport Evangel, and the Bulldogs will stay at number 2. Fayetteville less than impressive, but got a W at Little Rock Catholic earlier this week. Then there's Russellville and West Memphis holding on at number 5. North Little Rock moves up to number 6. Then it's McClellan, Cabot, Texarkana, and Southside. Rogers drops to number 11. Jonesboro won at Camden Fairview last night. El Dorado tied Southside in its season opener. Then it's Lake Hamilton and Northside. Bryant is number 16, followed by the Zebras, falling down to 17 after losing to Northside. Camden Fairview's 18, followed by Sylvan Hills and Conway. Then it's Bentonville, Van Buren, the Panthers, Searcy, and Little Rock Catholic.
Now, the United States Marines Scholar Athlete of the Week.
All teams need great senior leadership, and quarterback Clark Irwin provides it for the Central Tigers.
Winning the 5A championship in 2003, Irwin and company are anxious for one more in 2004.
A lot of people have thought we've lost a lot of studs on defense, which we have, but I think we have a lot of people that can step up and fill those roles in.
Equally balanced, the QB is a dynamic student, posting close to a 4.0 average. Congratulations to Clark Irwin, the Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week.
And congratulations to Clark Irwin, Little Rock Central's quarterback, our Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week. Of course, Central opened the season on Friday night with a big win at West Memphis in a rematch of last year's state title game. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 4A highlights are straight ahead.
Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Sonic.
And we begin our Class 4A highlights with action from the second night of Modern Women of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week. BB and Greenbrier thrilled the overflow crowd Tuesday night at Harding University with a whale of a game. BB took an early 8-0 lead with a 6-yard touchdown from quarterback Wesley Lamb, followed by a 2-point conversion keeper. Greenbrier would answer with quarterback Nick Maxfield scoring on an 11-yard run, and then a 2-point pass to Josh Camden. That tied it at 8 early in the second quarter. At halftime, Greenbrier would lead by 15-14, but Lamb brought BB back, scoring another touchdown on this twisting 20-yard run, followed by a 2-point conversion. That was Ricardo Mack getting BB back on top. That made it 22-15 and set up a dramatic finish. Greenbrier would march 62 yards with Maxfield passing 15 yards to Trevor Segrist for the touchdown. And with only 63 seconds left, the score was 22-21. And Greenbrier would go for 2 and the W. But BB bows up and stops Maxfield just short of the goal line to preserve the kickoff classic victory for BB. Final score, Badgers 22, Greenbrier 21. In the second game on Tuesday night of Modern Woodmen of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week, defending 4A West champion Harrison took on defending Class 3A state champion Pulaski Academy. And early on, it was all private school power as PA sophomore quarterback Stephen Lux picked apart Harrison's highly regarded secondary. And that led to this 9-yard touchdown pass. Ted Womble takes it in, and PA was up 16-3 on Harrison. It would stay that way until the fourth quarter. That's when Harrison would rally with 21 unanswered points. Senior quarterback Guy Brown guiding the Goblins to an 8-point lead late, but PA wouldn't quit. The Bruins had a final chance, and Lux hit talented Brent Hanks for a big gain with 30 seconds left. But a fumble at the end of the play would preserve a Modern Woodmen of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic victory for the Harrison Golden Goblins. Final score, Harrison 24, Pulaski Academy 16.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We know that, but in a game like this, two good football teams, it's usually the breaks that determine the game, and maybe we got an extra one. I hope so.
Everybody thinks we're rebuilding, and maybe we are, but we're kind of reloading, we think. Our kids just played behind some studs last year. They wanted a chance to show what they could do, and they started doing that. But obviously one of the things I learned about our team is we've got to learn how to finish. We're young, and we have to learn how to finish a ball game. And they did some great things, and I got to see some things they need to work on. But I want to thank the Hootens for allowing us to play it. Great event, we love it, and it was a good experience for our kids.
Number 2 ranked Pulaski Robinson won 12 games last fall, but the Senators beat Oak Grove by just 1 point. Oak Grove looking to get some revenge last night, and the Hornets have a big-time weapon. U of A recruit Darren McFadden on his first carry, 57 yards for the score. Oak Grove was up 6-0. Robinson would respond with a series of short runs, and Big Clayton Ford, the quarterback, goes over top for a 1-yard touchdown at 6-6. Later in the half, Oak Grove goes back to McFadden, and McFadden goes back to the end zone. This time 63 yards, another score, Oak Grove up 12-6. But near the end of the half, Robinson's Corey Taylor takes a punt. Look at this, 53 yards up the sidelines, all the way to the house. That put Robinson up, and the Senators sting the Hornets by 1 point for the second straight year. Final score, Robinson 26, Oak Grove 25. And here's Hooten's Arkansas football updated Class 4A rankings. Bologna stays on top. The Eagles' run defense is very stout. Pulaski Robinson has beaten Oak Grove by a total of 2 points the past 2 years. Batesville is the defending state champs, and they'll get a chance to avenge last year's tie against Searcy next week. Harrison's number 4, and there's Wynn. The Yellow Jackets smashed Searcy by 3 touchdowns last night. Alma starts the second 5. Greenwood scored 36 on Shiloh Christian last night. Crossing's number 8. Marlton moves up to number 9. The Devil Dogs are the 5th team from the 4A West, ranked in the top 9. Then it's Stuttgart, Blytheville, West Helena, Oak Grove is up 3 spots. Whitehall's 14 and Lakeside 15. Magnolia checks in at 16, followed by Paragould and Siloam Springs. Hope is number 19. Then it's Mills moving into the top 20 for the first time in nearly a year, followed by Beebe, Greenbrier, Malvern, which beat Sheridan by 3 touchdowns. Arkadelphia's 24, and Monticello easily handled Hamburg last night.
Now the ConocoPhillips Spirit Student of the Week.
Cheering for the Fordyce Redbugs and maintaining a 3.75 GPA is a full-time job for junior cheerleader Morgan Bailey.
We usually have to be at the school about 7:30, and on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we lift weights. First period is my cheerleading class, and then after school we have cheerleading practice until about 5. And then if I don't have cheerleading practice, then I usually go out to the golf course and stay out there and practice till about 5 or 6. You really have to discipline yourself. I mean, if I have a big test or something that I know I have to study, then I'll study a couple nights before actually. And I usually study for about an hour, just however long it takes me to get all my stuff ready.
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by First Security Bancorp.
It's a very special privilege to get to play this game. Very special. And I want you to remember every minute of it. And because of that, you turn it loose. 48 minutes. You go as hard as you possibly can. You're in good enough shape. You can do it. Don't hold anything back. Make a mistake, it's as hard as you can go. And then you shake it off and you come back and you go as hard as you can the next play and the next play. That's what makes this game so special. You're going to remember it the rest of your life.
Central Arkansas Christian coach Tim Perry and the Mustangs were pumped to play the first game of the 2004 Arkansas high school season. Maybe too pumped, as Valonia's Marshall Hooten pounces on a CAC fumble on the first play of the year at the 10-yard line. And 2 plays later, Valonia's senior quarterback Nick Cowger pulls in for the touchdown. But the Mustangs came right back. Senior quarterback Jesse Gates, this guy's a smooth operator. He hits Blake Clayton for a 47-yard gain. Next play, that's Ellis Copeland grabbing a 41-yard touchdown, and CAC is up 7-6 on Valonia. In the third quarter, the Mustangs and Gates go back to the air. That's Tyler Thompson for 23 yards down to the 8-yard line. And on the next play, Gates would go to Clayton, and the Mustangs are back on top in this thrilling first football game of the year. Valonia would score a couple of times, go back on top of CAC, but the Mustangs were still fighting in the end. Gates with a touchdown to Mike Shattuck, and CAC pulled to within 27-24. That's as close as they would get, as Valonia would run the ball and run out the clock to hold on for a 3-point victory. Final score from the Modern Women of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic: Valonia 27, CAC 24.
They're a tough team. We knew that coming in. We had a few too many mistakes, but we came up on top, and it was a good win. Good win to start the year off with.
Coaches in the 6th AAA think that Lonoke can push CAC for the conference title. Last night, 8AA member Dollarway visited Lonoke County, and the Cardinal running game went to work early on Lonoke. First, it's Timothy Williams, 25 yards up the middle for a first down. Later, Jermaine Clark picks his way for 8 yards on 3rd down. And on 4th and inches, quarterback Brandon Moore gets in for the 2-yard touchdown. That put Dollarway up 8-0, and that's as close as Lonoke would get. Final score, Dollarway 20, Lonoke 8. Just 9 miles separate Hector from Dover, but the neighbors hadn't played a regular season game in more than a decade until they met Thursday night in the Modern Women of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic at Arkansas Tech in Russellville. On the 3rd possession of the game, Dover running back Connor Freeman dashes for 31 of 52 yards right here for a touchdown, and the Pirates go up 8-0. Hector would come back on its next possession. Sophomore Greg Conley hits a 22-yard field goal that pulled the Wildcats within 8-3. Later in the first half, Dover would pad its lead. Quarterback Ryan Kaufman darts 9 yards for a touchdown. That put Dover up 16-3. But Small and the Wildcats would answer with a 10-yard touchdown pass to Cade Watson. That pulled Hector to within 13 points. And after a successful onside kick, Small goes back to work, scrambling into the end zone from 6 yards out. and Hector was within 6 now, 24-18. In the fourth quarter, Dover's Kaufman would go back to work in the air. He finds Freeman for an 8-yard touchdown strike. Dover would hang on and run out the clock. Final score, Dover 32, Hector 24.
I love it. We was all ready for it. We got the butterflies at first, but once kickoff went, we were ready to go. Oh, big swing in our program's history.
The Warren Lumberjacks remain the top team in Hooten's Arkansas football Class 3A rankings. The Lumberjacks rushed for 3 touchdowns in a 28-14 win over Stuttgart Friday night. Central Arkansas Christian's number 2 and Boonville 3. Rivercrest will open its season next week against Paragould. Then it's Atkins and Star City, Ashdown at number 7. Nashville was impressive in Coach Chris Woods' debut at Hope on Friday night. Pulaski Academy vaults into the top 10 after playing lights out against Harrison on Tuesday. Then it's Prairie Grove. Ozark starts the second 10. The Hillbillies battled to a scoreless tie at Charleston Friday night. Newport's number 12, followed by Dollarway, Osceola, Pocahontas, and Prescott 16, followed by Clarksville and Shiloh Christian. The Saints never crossed the 50-yard line against a stout Greenwood defense on Friday night. Hoxie's 19 and McGee is number 20. The Owls won in Coach David Jordan's debut with the school at defending AA champ Junction City Friday night. Fordyce drops to number 21. Then it's Lonoke, Bauxite, which should be a playoff team, Dover at number 24. Gosnell rounds out the top 25.
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by State Farm.
20-yard. On Tuesday night, the second night of Modern Woodmen of America Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week, BB junior quarterback Wesley Lamb rushed for 121 yards and 3 touchdowns, including this nifty 20-yard keeper that delighted the overflow crowd at Harding University and proved to be the difference in BB's thrilling 22-21 victory. Congratulations to BB's Wesley Lamb on a great performance, including our State Farm Play of the Week.
Now, more of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by State Farm.
And we begin our Class 2A coverage with exclusive highlights from Rising, where Clay Toddy and his Wildcats planned on making history by beating rival Fordyce for a 4th consecutive time. Step 1, hand the ball to Wayne Wainwright on the first play from the scrimmage and watch him go 65 yards all the way to the Fordyce 10-yard line. A few plays later, Aaron Terry's going to sneak it in. Just like that, Rising was up 7-0. The second quarter, Fordyce is driving, but there's Wainwright this time at safety, stepping in front of the pass. And look out, the senior's going to go 95 yards before Fordyce can drag him down at the 6-yard line. Wainwright had a huge night, kicking 3 of 4 extra points, also a 25-yard field goal last night. And 3 plays later, it's Terry again for the score. Rising was up 14-0. The veteran Rising defense dominated all night. And on Fordyce's next possession, Arthur Ballard picks off the pass from Mark Kelly, and he'll score. Rising was up 27-0 at halftime and looked every bit the team to beat in Class 2A. Final score, top-ranked Rising 30, Class 3A Fordyce 8. The last time Arkansas Baptist played Mayflower, Baptist lost 44-0. That was back in 2001. Friday night, the Eagles trying to close the gap. Senior kicker Paul Bucari kicks the 34-yard field goal, and Baptist was up 3-0. But on the next play, you see it, Mayflower's Gio Joshua going all the way with the kick 95 yards later. Mayflower is up, and Mayflower's speed would take this one away from Baptist. Final score, Mayflower 28, Arkansas Baptist 17. Little Rock Lutheran has won just 3 games in its first 2 years of football, and Friday night the Lions tangled with 5 AA member Mount Ida. Mount Ida's been in the playoffs 3 straight years. Sounds like trouble, and it was for Lutheran. On Mount Ida's first possession, Charlie Rhodes blazes his own trail to the end zone for a 7-0 lead. On Mount Ida's next possession, it's Rhodes again on the road to the end zone for a 14-0 lead. Then a little bit later, it's quarterback Chance Packard for Mount Ida. He gets in on the action with a short run, and the route is on. Final score, Mount Ida 31, Little Rock Lutheran 3. Rising stays on top after whipping Fordyce, followed by Junction City, Harding Academy, Barton, and Charleston. In the Class 2A rankings, Charleston battled Class 3A Ozark to a 0-0 tie on Friday night. Cross County holds at number 6 even though the Thunderbirds lost 28-0 to Class 3A Harrisburg. EPC, Mountainburg, and Dirks all move up after wins. Greenland falls 3 places after losing to AAA West Fork. The second 10 starts like this: Garden, Jesseville, and Carlisle. The Bison jump up 10 spots after rallying past Palestine Wheatley with a 22-point fourth quarter Friday night. There's Palestine and Hector. Then it's Bearden, Danville, all-timer Earl with a nice road win at Augusta. The Hornets open the Gary Segrist era with a 27-12 victory over Smackover. The bottom 5 consists of Lavaca, Spring Hill, and Perryville. Watch out for the Perryville Mustangs. They dropped from AAA and just destroyed Johnson County Westside Friday night. Thanks again for watching Hooten's Arkansas football tonight. We look forward to seeing you again next week at the same time on this same station when we'll have 30 minutes of hard-hitting high school highlights again. And we'll see you here on Hooten's Arkansas football.
This fall, don't miss the action. Students, it's your time to get into the game.
24/7 and fuel.